And we are live. I just realized looking in the reflection here on the camera on the phone, uh, I look a lot like with this haircut and this shave. I look a lot like the guy who played Hannibal in that most recent adaptation. I forget the guy's name, but he uses hypnotherapy to convince an otherwise normal but paranoid guy that he's a murderer. And in fact, it's the psychologist, the psychiatrist, that's the actual killer. I forget what that one was called. Anyway, welcome back to another transmission of the Live Drive Jive archive with your host, Frank Monday. Yabba dabba do, everyone. Let's see them yo's out in happy land. Gotta clear the palate, get this show started right. Come on, yo, come on. All right. Um, so I was discussing the paranormal as I transmit here out of Twilight Zone Old Peking, Central Kingdom of the Celestial Dragon. Make sure you guys check me out on www.buymeacoffee.com/Frank Monday. That way you can get some behind the scenes pictures and documents and stuff like that. And that helps out the channel, man. Or it helps me out. I'm trying to put away enough, squirrel away enough that I can make myself a professional outfit, get a new phone. Already got a good microphone, thanks to Motier Tiedrick. He bought me a lot of coffees over there on buymeacoffee.com. Thanks for that, Jeff. I really appreciate that. He was a little bummed out that his messages weren't getting through on the last live chat, and I don't know why. What I don't know. Nobody knows why YouTube does what they do in censoring certain individuals and just generally being misanthropes towards the community. A community that built their platform and continues to make their platform thrive. I I was suspicious that they would basically do away with all user created content long before they have, but I think they've realized that everybody's on YouTube just simply for user created content. And they try to make a corporate switch to make like YouTube Red and a premium service with YouTube, and nobody wanted it. And so they tried their own YouTube original stories and stuff like that, and nobody was interested. And as a result, I think they realized that if they purged all the user created content in great excess like they were planning to do, then they would lose their entire subscription base. Everyone would just give up. So hopefully they realize that. And it seems like they're fucking with people a little less, but I don't know if there's any truth to that either. And I was thinking it might actually start to return to kind of its grassroots style of the Wild West. So after that digression, let's get back on target. The paranormal, as we Plum Blossom Lane, a location of most certainly paranormal activity, wandering ghosts and such. So I was watching a little bit, I think, like I said, about 10 or 15 minutes of a YouTube channel called Mind Unveiled, where they have kind of an inquiry into various things, but it brought forward the absolute banality and the worst parts of the spiritualism movement, where talented psychics were infiltrated by academics and government agents, the intelligence agencies, and the military. and tried to be put on the front line in programs like remote viewing. And when I was young and I experimented with hypnosis and altered states and my own psychic research, and I did some of those practices like having someone seal an image in an envelope, and then you work at perceiving it and guessing it. And that's even under under controlled circumstances with people that love you and would not try to interfere with you psychically, like by putting you under undue scrutiny or analysis. So they were highlighting the life of this Japanese girl who was a talented psychic and fell into the hands of researchers. And she ultimately, it led to her committing suicide. And we don't know if that's a fact or not, but if that's the fact, then that's a pretty tragic end to um, to a person of great sensitivity. So the part, the parlor games aspect of it is always what I found onerous and banal, like guessing cards from a deck of playing cards rather than working with the tarot and doing spiritual exploration. It's something I never wanted to do. And it's like, I don't have to prove to anyone that we have these, not all of us, because some people can't play the piano, right? I can't. But I have the ability at discernment, spiritual discernment, prophecy, and some psychic talents, intuitive psychic talents, grokking certain things, and so on and so forth. And even weather manipulation. Uh, more than one interaction with high level weather manipulation, which proved to me at a very young age that magic power is real and there's more to the material universe than is presented at a superficial level, right, in the mainstream narrative. So, spirit comes and consciousness comes before matter. Matter does not create the consciousness. Uh, and they arise together as a right as the old incantation of total integration states, heaven and earth are the spontaneous manifestations of the subtle wondrous universal law. As the original oneness expresses itself, gross and subtle energies become distinctly divided. So it's an original oneness that distinctly divides itself. And that original oneness is those preforms, that realm of the preforms, like Socrates talked about. So I was in the realm of the preforms last night. I was coming back into the waking world in dreamland this morning and having great discussions with who I now am suspicious may have been uh, related to the spirit of that great Japanese mystic who lived during I believe, the latter part of the 19th century. And so, Mind Unveiled, they brought forth her story, and it's sad and a tragic story, right? But it's what happens when egg-headed skeptics get involved in anything that has to do with spiritual research. But why am I presenting it to you and why am I talking about it? Because her practices coincide with the 100-day magical challenge, what I've set forth as a basic challenge for people interested in paranormal research to engage in. So her basic practice was every morning upon waking, doing about 30 minutes of meditation and communing with the divine. Prayer and meditation was all she did to tap into the more subtle currents of the mind and develop her psychic talents. Prayer and meditation. And in the Mind Unveiled video, the girl, the presenter, I think her name is Moon or something like that. She goes by that moniker, that pseudonym. So her stage name for YouTube is Moon, which I thought interesting, right? No coincidences there, huh? And we are in a new moon, and I believe the energies of the moon are moving into the constellation Scorpio later today sometime. So we're currently in Libra, new moon in Libra, and sun in Libra. So good balanced energy, right? An airy sign of the mental realm. And yeah, so I'll put a link in the last two videos down to the video by Mind Unveiled. You can just look them up yourself if you want. I believe it's their latest offering on YouTube by Mind Unveiled. I don't remember the title, but I will look it up and put it down in the pinned comment section of this video. All right, guys, I've arrived at the yard. I'm a little bit early, which means I got about 20 minutes, but nobody's here. So I'm going to cancel this video and fire up another one here in a minute and see if anybody gets the notification. I love y'all, good looking, sexy people out in the abodes of Happy Land. I will see you on the next transmission. Until then, as above, so below, and do good magic.